outline of the man as he collapses and writhes engulfed by flames. Behind Eder, fire and smoke rise in front of the exit. Retreat to the exit. Set by smoke-clogged air, blistering heat, and burning debris, Eder is rapidly losing strength. With every passing moment, survival becomes more unlikely. Keeping a firm hold upon the unconscious woman, Eder turns to the exit. Eder clears the fallen beam with easy grace, avoiding the scattered embers and debris underfoot. Smoke clouds Eder's vision and makes it difficult to breathe, but Eder staggers onward. At last, Eder comes to the door, rushing out of the blaze and into the mountain air.
Katie, thank the gods you saved her.
I was sure that thing was coming down and taking your friend with it. The man wipes his brow and stares up at the collapsing house. At least you got Katie out when you did. As for poor Lurgolder, his eyes widen as a section of the roof collapses. He looks away, shaking his head. You look like you could use a drink. Take this over to Hefrix and have one on me. He flips you a couple flat carved bones.
All right, then.
Speak with Renengild in her house. See, we're right here, so it's right up here. See a middle-aged woman and a younger man locked in an argument. Both wear clothes streaked with blood and dirt. The young man turns to the woman, a fresh cut visible below his eye.
They've destroyed the stockade, Mother. It's...
Enough. They're gone.
She holds up a hand which is missing the final joint of the ring finger, but it's her voice, sharp and steely, that silences the young man as he glowers at his toes. She turns to you with dark circles under her eyes and a smile pulled taut across her thin lips.
The deliverer of Cadnua. Thank you for making the journey. Abidan knows it's a long one. Well, I'm sure you wagered on a more civilized welcome. Still, we're much obliged for your capable intervention.
She shoots the young man a brief but stern glare. He pulls a knife from his belt and an apple from his pocket and sets to work. It was no trouble. I'm here to help however I can.
Then perhaps you can help us find something.
She folds the page in her hand with a quick and merciless pinch.
Stalwart isn't much more than a grease stain on a map. What roads we've got in the White March are basically tracks in the snow. And for every trader or adventurer that comes through, 3 of our own leave for good. But it weren't always so. There was a time when kings and queens sent their firstborn to these mountains, when the White March was the envy of empires.
Her eyes shine, and for an instant she looks like a much younger woman. How the mighty have fallen. What an era that must have been for the White March.
The Pargrin dwarves transformed the White March once. We could bring some of that greatness back to Stalwart. But we need the White Forge.
Never heard of it.
Of course. Been over 200 years since anyone's felt so much as a summery breeze near it. I'm hoping you can do something about that.
How so?
We've been trying to breach Durgan's battery for over a year now. Problem is, the other expeditions can't so much as dent the front door.
Tell me about these other expeditions.
A dozen different groups have come through at our request, and several more besides. Been hoping that one of them could clear the way through Durgan's battery. But young or old, green or seasoned, it don't seem to matter. They cast their spells, chisel at the door, and search the grounds until they've worn new treads into the old stone. The lucky ones eventually go home. Plenty more find themselves on the wrong side of a blizzard, or an ogre raiding party.
And that's why you need my help.
That's the long and short of it. We're laborers and fisherfolk, not adventurers. But Durgan Steel could put Stalwart on the map again, open up the mines, bring in new business. We just need the White Forge.
She thumps the desk with her fist. Why is Durgan Steel so special?
Because you can shave stone with it, cleave cast iron in two, and the stuff's as rare as it is remarkable.
In her enthusiasm, Renengild shifts on the balls of her feet. She props one bent arm on the other, pointing distractedly toward the eaves of the house. If you had a suit of armor made out of that, bet people get tired of trying to stab you after a while and just give up.
If we could make something even half as good, we'd have a market at our doorstep and work enough for all of Stalwart.
How is it no one's gotten into Durgan's battery yet?
Where should I start? Ogres, blizzards, or sheer damned inaccessibility? It ain't for lack of trying, I'll tell you that much. Got untold riches in Durgan Steel lying just inside, and never mind the White Forge itself. The Adirans who first settled Stalwart tried to crack it. So did the Valians, and every other cocky adventurer with more metal than sense. But the place has a funny way of sealing itself up. Front door stays shut, the tower entrances are clogged with rubble, and it's been impossible to blast a way in.
What happened to Durgan's battery?
It don't bear dwelling on. There's too many superstitions about that place as it is.
Killed each other off. Or so the old books say.
Plenty of tales to go around, but none of them open the battery. And the last thing people need is another reason to fear the place.
Kith do enjoy their ghost stories, though the Glenfathens take theirs very seriously.
Whatever it was, the other Pargrin dwarven settlements in the White March, Bone Picker, the Hawk, and the rest, emptied out not long after, moved to gentler, greener lands.
Had the right idea, if you ask me.
I don't see why you need the White Forge to make good steel.
Finally, someone talking sense.
Durgan Steel wasn't just good. It was some of the best. We need the best if we're going to keep Stalwart alive. No one alive today has seen the White Forge, but the old stories tell that it was powerful, glowed white-hot, and gave off a steady, even heat, unlike any other furnace. Let better-schooled folk puzzle over how the thing was built. I just want to see it put to use.
Tell me about the Paragon dwarves.
Pargrin's a word in their language. Means traveler. They've been wanderers for generations, but I couldn't tell you much more.
Alright, any idea of where I should begin?
The battery's up the mountain to the north, a good hike away.
Near Galvino's place, huh?
So it is, though I was going to suggest dealing with that ogre camp before anything.
Who's Galvino?
Mestre Galvino, as the old crosspatch prefers it, lives by himself and keeps the wilder and beasts at bay through sheer foulness of his temper.
She means to say he's a skilled smith and animancer, who's lived in the shadow of Durgan's battery for over a decade.
And by Animancy's flimsy standards, that makes him an expert, does it?
And he butters his bread on both sides and fits his left shoe before his right. But that's neither here nor there.
Seems odd that he lives out in the wilderness by himself.
Not doing much worse than any of us.
Huh. He wore out his welcome in Stalwart. He's better off with ogres and Lagufoth as his neighbors now.
What happened to Galvino?
Old lunatic finally went too far. And we sent word to the Valiant Academies. I don't like speaking on it, but if you want to get his guff, just remind him that we gave him the boot.
Ain't nobody here fond of the man, but he's a clever hand and a quick study. It's a fool who thinks he stayed so close to the battery without figuring something about it.
You said as much to the last party, and we haven't seen hide nor hair of him since. Maybe they didn't run afoul of Baragon's ogres after all.
Aldrich shrugs and turns back to the fire.
Just watch your step. Galvino's place is a ways east of the battery, and folk who pass it bring unsettling tales.
Tell me about the org camp.
Belongs to Flames That Whisper, Matron Baragon's clan. Hunters tell me they've been active of late.
Hunting elk and otherwise minding their own damn business.
Minding their own business. Never mind the latest expedition's disappearance, or the broken stockade.
I'm saying we shouldn't agitate him further.
What does the matron have to do with anything?
The brawl outside was just the latest patch of trouble. The ogre clans are getting bolder, and we'll all sleep easier knowing they aren't circling our walls. Also, Baragons like to have whatever the last expedition found. Rumor has it they disappeared near her turf.
Killing a matron will only make our problems worse. The way to approach Baragon is with your hands held high.
If anyone could parley with an ogre, I suppose it'd be you. But they aren't known for their patience with prattle.
Got it.
Good. Before you leave town, stop by the Grave's Rest. Most visitors to Stalwart spend some time there, so Hafric and his patrons may be able to give you the lay of the land. What's on your mind?
I want to know more about Stalwart.
Adir founded us back in their colonial days to supply ore to the Empire. Saw a fair bit of traffic from both sides of the White March then. But after the Deerwood claimed independence, Defiance Bay found cheaper places to get ore. Didn't have much reason to maintain our supply routes.
Isn't Stalwart part of the Direwood?
Officially. Though with the state the roads are in, you wouldn't guess it. What's on your mind?
Can you tell me anything about the last expedition that went to Durgan's battery?
They didn't volunteer much, and I knew better than to ask. I've seen all types charging through here. Professional companies with shiny new equipment as brazen as you please, and hopeless runts with nothing but tattered leathers. But these folk, I don't know what they were after, and the way they looked at you made you feel cold all over. Wish I could tell you more.
Perhaps we'll find more in the battery itself, yes?
What's on your mind?
That's it.
There's little town left, if there was much of one to begin with.
Been looking everywhere for you.
Who said that?
They gone? Have those nasty brutes finally left? I heard the ogres outside, tearing down walls and murdering folk. Don't remember how things got this bad. But you're the new adventurer. Renengild's latest volunteer. A real spitfire, she told me. Bet you'd whip those layabouts at the mine into shape. Did you say something, dear? Me? I was the overseer at the mine, back when it was running. Got shut down decades ago when we couldn't sell or ship the stuff. But I still remember plenty about the mining business. And I got as many folk as I can digging out the entrance. Been praying to the salty wench that I don't forget too much afore they finish the job. Me? But I've been praying to the salt. Got to speak up.
You headed into the wilderness?
Don't see the harm. Building's
Oh.
thirsty work.
There he is. Hello. Heard I might find you here. Pleasure to meet you. I'm the captain of the militia around here. Nice to meet you. I wanted to catch you before you went running off into the wilds. See, there's a few dangerous folk you might be on the lookout for. Plus, if you're heading out to Longwatch Falls, I thought you could pick up a thermal pearl for me. It's a weird sentence. Thought you could pick. You want me to find a thermal pearl for you? That's the thing, I already found it. I just need someone else to get it out. Saw it in the hot springs up near Longwatch Falls. You've grabbed it. Would have grabbed it myself, but that's when I looked around and saw the log cliff. Must have been 50 of them. I would have fought, but I started to wonder what the rest of Stalwart would do without me, so I ran for the sake of the village, of course. What is a thermal pearl anyway? They form in the hot springs, something to do with all the minerals in the water. Smell kind of funny, but they're full of minerals. Just have to crumble them into a pint. What are you talking about? Just trying to keep my teeth as long as I can. This game and fish diet ain't easy on anyone. Like I said, the pearl is one of the thermal pools near Longwatch Falls. It shouldn't be too hard to spot. Tell me more about Longwatch Falls. It's east of Stalwart. Got some nice views of the valley, but most folk avoid it these days. Plenty of wilder nearby, and it only takes a few inches of snow to block the pass. If you're heading out that way, I'd suggest talking to Thiersk. He's might have another weird sentence. He's might have something to do. Help you deal with the Langwith. That's all I needed to know. Stop by his place before you leave town. His is the house next to the mines. He's a veteran hunter who knows the wilds better than anyone. Alright, thank you.
Figured you'd be out of here in a flash after the fighting died down. Most people don't stick around after they figure out the ogres are making regular visits. I would have helped fight them monsters off, you know, if I didn't think I'd just get in the way. And with you there to handle things, everything turned out well enough, didn't it? Don't see why Havrick's still sour at me.
What is this about Havrick?
Oh, Havrick's the innkeeper over at the Grave's Rest. I may have been hiding in the inn when the fighting started. The raid didn't improve his disposition any. Did you know he has a whole case of Fenlin liquor in there? I keep offering to buy it off him, but he says he's saving it up for when the battery's open again. As if we're gonna last that long. Anyhow, he said he'd thrash me up and down the mountain if I didn't leave him be.
So, what's so special about this stuff?
They say a single drop changes your life. You'll never want to have a drink of anything else. Probably that's all rubbish, but it's supposed to be very good.
I see.
It's delusional is what it is. Hey, look, maybe, not that you have the face for it or anything, but maybe you could help me out.
Oh, bravo. Subtle indeed.
Havrick keeps all the good stock in the inn cellar. Out of sight, you see. I mean, it's bound to be under lock and key, but I'm sure he wouldn't miss a single bottle. Not with everything that's going on.
I'm not gonna rob the innkeeper for you.
Shh, all right, keep it down. I didn't mean anything by it. But if you happen to come across some, then maybe you could share?
Berith's wheel of fire.
Owena! Go check on that Orlin. Make sure he don't steal nothing. Never seen such a bloodbath. Feels like we got half the town's survivors in here, just drinking to forget it. But you must be looking for some refreshment, too, after the way you handled them ogres. Or perhaps a room. Say the word and I'll give that shifty little Orlin the boot.
What, Orlin?
Showed up a few days ago. Sticks his nose out of the back room just long enough to empty his chamber pot. Up to no good, I tell you. I'd like nothing more than to see him gone, but I don't want to ruckus over it.
What makes you so sure he's trouble?
We get our share of lowlifes coming through here. Smugglers, fugitives, Kith looking to avoid the sharp eye of the law. The way he's keeping to himself, well, honest Kith sure don't have cause for it.
See what his quest is, I guess.
I'd appreciate it. And I suppose I don't need to remind you that I don't want you to hurt him. I'm sure you can find a more discreet way of handling the problem. Back to warm your hands, eh? What can I do for you? He did he? That shifty little crook never learns. I'll have it put away somewhere safe. Thank you for doing the decent thing. Back to warm your hands, eh? What can I do for you?
Screw that guy. Like a room, please.
Top quality bear pelts on every bed.
Anybody to talk to in here?
Ooh, still can't feel my fingers.
There's some people. Hey there, good timing. You can watch me trounce Birth when... Hi, let's see it then. Once. Andred. You won once. What are you playing? Orland's head. That's what they call it anyhow. Smooth. Pick a target, see? Nose and ears. Nose is worth more, but you get 2 ears to work with. You get less points the further out from the target you get, so for the mouth and eyes, no points if you miss. Fancy game, 3 throws each, and whoever gets the most points by the end of it wins the wager. I'll put down 50 pads, if you will. Not now.
Oh, it's you. I'm so glad you came by. I hoped I'd have the chance to thank you properly. They told me what happened. God's bless you, sir. I owe you my life. I know it was foolish of me to run in there. But this ring is all that I have of my family.
Maybe you can help me. I'm looking for some Fenland liquor.
Funny. Rayvold was just in here asking after the same thing. Guess that stuff really is popular. Haverick has some, but he says the Fenland stuff's not for sale. And he's rigged up the cellar like a battlefield trying to keep people out. Sorry. If anyone deserves a drink, it's you, sir. But I don't think I could convince him.
I understand.
We still have a decent supply of food and drink if anything else takes your...
Nope. Very well. Okay, let's get out of here.
It must be soon. 2 days, no more.
Dwarf is busy staring into the fire, slowly puffing away on his pipe. As you greet him, he's visibly startled and his pipe clatters to the floor.
Sorry. Didn't hear you come in. My ears aren't what they used to be.
He stoops, wincing, to retrieve his pipe. When he raises again, he has a hand against his side. Who are you?
I'm Thiersch. I've lived here long enough that Kith have started calling me the Old Hunter. And that's about all I can say for myself.
Are you hurt?
Wasn't the ogres, I can tell you that. Put a few arrows in one of those and they generally have the good sense to back off. But I've been hunting this wolf for near a year now. A man-eater. Cunning, nasty thing. Every time I get close, it just slips away. The beast has already claimed many lives. The first victim was my son, Saldrin. Got the better of me this last time. Distracted me long enough for one of its kin to turn up. Nearly bit me clean in half. I'm a few weeks out from trying again. No ordinary wolf. A monster. This creature is big. And I see the signs it leaves behind. The mess it made to the last couple of hunters and the elk. Doesn't always finish its meals. Damn thing might be sick. Might have a bullet in its jaw. Something. In any case, it needs to be put down.
Where is this beast?
It roams the russet wood out to the west. Seems to have decided the lake is a good place to find prey. Yeah. It's picked off some scattered ogres from time to time. But mostly it's been going after hunters, travelers.
Can you tell me about your previous encounters?
Nothing to tell. Near misses, all of them. One time he clambered right up the cliffs to avoid my snares. Another time, he chased a bear into my camp. I nearly had him once. I could hear him below, eating, and I had the gun aimed right for him. Until the wind changed. He charged headlong into the tree to get at me. Nearly knocked me off my perch. And when I righted myself, he was gone.
I'll keep an eye out for it.
It needs doing. But I warn you, this beast is not to be trifled with. It must make its lair somewhere to the west. If you mean to go there, keep your wits about you. Watch yourself on the mountain. In these lean times, everything looks like prey to something. Coming to your elders for advice, is it? What can I do for you?
Telder said I should talk to you before I head to Longwatch Falls. A good thing he did. Hot springs north of the road or crawling with Legafith. I'm surprised Teldor found himself out there. The thing to know about